Welcome to day 3. And again, we're going to be using a block. It's my favorite prop to use daily for supporting my hips in meditation and breathing exercises and to support posture so that it takes struggle out of a lot of poses for me and for lots of students. So you can use blocks, anything that is sturdy. Books are a great substitute. So we're actually going to begin lying down and building upon what we did in day 2 with the 3-part breath. You can decide whether you'd like to lay down with your feet on the mat and knees touching, or you can have your legs straight out for now. In either way, let your body be effortless here, already coming into our Shavasana practice, already touching into our Shavasana practice. With your eyes closed, start to drop your attention inward and downward into your lungs and into your belly. Notice how those two parts move together. The first part of your inhale moves in through the nostrils and down into the lowest part of your lungs. And then it starts to flow upward towards your ribs and towards your chest like a wave as you exhale, letting your chest relax and your ribs and your belly. And for the next few rounds of breath, let your breath flow with no tension in your body. Let the belly fill up, spread out. Let your ribs receive your breath. Let your chest, the upper part of your chest, touch your breath and then let it go. Letting it flow out your nose. Take any concentration out of your forehead and your eyes. And then we're going to place our feet onto the floor if it's not already like that. And we're going to move here with our breath. So as you breathe in, I'm going to move my arms out to the side so that you can see, but you can keep your arms down by your side. As you inhale, start to move your ribs up and arch your back. And as you exhale, start to push your middle back and your low back into the ground and lift your tailbone. Inhale, arch your back, fill up into your belly and ribs, and exhale, let the breath go, and start to tuck your tailbone and lift your tailbone off the floor. Inhale, arching the back, increasing the natural curve of your low back, and exhale, drawing your navel towards your spine, and as you do so, pressing gently into your feet and lifting your tailbone off the floor. Do 5 rounds like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Do 3 more silently to yourself. So do 3 more, and as you inhale, arch your back and lift your arms over your head. And as you exhale, lower your hands by your side and push your low back into the mat and lift your hips. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, bring your hands down, press your whole back down, and tuck your tailbone so that the hips very barely lift. 1 more. Beautiful. Release. Take your blocks or your stack of books, and on any height we're going to come into bridge pose for a few breaths. So the block is right under my sacrum, right where my hips and my spine meet each other. It's a comfortable place. It's not into the back and my hips dropping down. It's supporting the hips and the back simultaneously. The feet can stay on the mat. If it is comfortable for you, walk your legs forward, heels on the ground, arms resting. We'll be here for 2 minutes. 2 minutes of a passive back bend, elongating the space where your torso and your legs meet. The body supported, the breath deep but not forceful. Two more breaths. If your legs are extended, walk your feet in, and we'll lift the hips enough to remove your block or your prop and lower down. Bring both knees into the chest for a hug. Keep your right knee in, extend your left leg forward, heel off the ground, lift your head, inhale, and exhale, lay your head back down, bring both knees in, hug your left leg, extend the right leg forward, heel off the ground, inhale, lift your head, and exhale, lower, both knees in, hug your knees, lift your head. Keep the right knee in, extend your left leg. Exhale like you're blowing your nose. Switch your sides as you hug your left knee in. Extra forceful exhale. Do that a couple more times. Every time you hug the knee in, expel a little more breath. 3 more on each side. Hug both knees in, drop your head, rock up to seated. Excuse me. Bring your hands onto the ground. Tuck your toes, arch your back. Lift your hips, down dog. Your feet can be farther away from you or separated further out to the mat. But start to elongate your spine. Step your right foot forward. Firm up your legs so your hands are light, and then take your hands onto your right thigh and lift your chest and reach your arms up. Lean forward and extend your arms back like you want your fingers to reach your back heel. Take a breath in. And exhale, bring your hands down, step to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Start to feel your legs strong so your arms can become light. Hands on the left leg, lift your chest, lift your arms, a high lunge. Lean forward, extend your arms back. Like your leg and your spine and your neck and your head all want to be in a long line together. Breathe in. And exhale. Bring your hands down and step your right foot forward. Bow forward, hold your elbows, and you can sway a little bit or do anything that you like. You can shake your head yes and no. Release your hands to the ground and bend your knees. Same thing, make your legs strong and take your hands onto your thighs and straighten your arms. In a modified chair pose, like your shoulders are over your heels. Imagine leaning back into the heels just a little bit. And then bring your arms up or forward, whichever works best for your shoulders. Breathe in and come into standing. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Breathe in and come into chair pose, this time without your hands on your legs. And exhale, bring your hands down and step your right foot back. Walk your hands up onto your legs, straighten out, and then open yourself to warrior two. Bring your left elbow onto your left thigh and feel this nice long line through the right side. Push down into your left elbow more and extend all the way from your right pinky toe to your right middle finger. And even open your chest a little more, rotate your chest open. Take a breath in. And exhale, release. Step your right foot forward. Come into chair pose. And then come into standing. Do that again, come into chair pose. Bring your hands down. Step your left foot back. Crawl yourself into the posture. Build it slowly. Lift up. Turn yourself into a warrior two legs. Bring your right elbow onto your right thigh and then push it down like your shoulder over your elbow, over your knee, over your ankle. And then feel this long line through the left side. We're not crunching here, we're finding space. So press down into your elbow, press down into your feet. Feel the left side nice and long and even open your chest a little bit more. Rotating your chest up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands down. Step your foot forward. Fold forward. Bend your knees. Come into chair pose. And then come into standing. Breathe in, come into chair pose, inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down, step to plank pose. Long through your body. Hips not super high or dropping down. Use a little bit of strength in your back muscles and your belly and your hip flexors. From your heels to your crown, nice and long. Lower to your belly. Inhale, come into cobra pose. And exhale, come into downward facing dog. Three more breaths. As you exhale, come onto your knees. Sit onto your heels for a moment. And even push your hands very gently into your legs and elongate your chest more. It doesn't mean moving your shoulders up, it means realigning your whole back body. As I push into my legs, I tuck my tailbone and my ribs and grow longer through my spine, through the tailbone, through the crown of the head. So I want to offer here another back bend. We're doing a lot of back bends in this series. Breathing exercises and yin and back bending to me are wonderful postures to build energy that is sustainable through the day. So you can come to laying down. And just like we began our practice, you're welcome to use the block under your sacrum for a passive bridge pose and stay there for the rest of the practice until we rest. Or you can take that same block and place it in between your knees, squeezing the block, feet on the mat, and palms facing down. Squeeze the block and then start to press into your feet and lift your hips. We've touched these muscles already today in our chair pose and breathing and lifting our hips. Squeeze the block. Feel the inner thighs light up and like the inner thighs want to touch the ceiling, but it's squeezing. And then lower down. 2 more times, lift your hips and squeeze the block. And exhale, lower. Breathe in, lift your hips, squeeze the block, and breathe out, lower down. So for the next 5 breaths, you can use the block or not. We'll come back into bridge pose, palms facing down, pressing the palms down. You can use the block here in between the knees if you like the squeezing, or else you can envision that squeezing without the block there. Press into your feet. Tuck your tailbone, lift your tailbone off the floor, and then start to roll your spine up. My thighs are active, my glutes are active. You can press down through your hands, or you can walk your hands underneath you, holding your hands and then walking your shoulder blades a little closer together. Wonderful posture for opening up the whole front side of your body. Notice here in your bridge pose, if you let your glutes go, the whole hips drop. So keep the glutes active and pressing up, and take 1 more breath. As you exhale, first release your hands. If your hands are together, then roll your spine down and separate your feet and move your knees from side to side. Center, extend your legs, flip your palms up and move your arms a little bit further away from your body. Stay here and breathe, resting here. heartbeat, feel your breath. Stretch yourself out. Hug your knees in. Let your knees fall over to the right. Come into a gentle twist. Extend your left arm to the left. Bring your legs to center and let your legs fall over to the left. And stretch your right arm to the right. Slowly roll entirely onto your left side, into the fetal position first, and then sit yourself upright. You can use the block for your hips, or you can sit on the floor. And to end our practice, close your eyes and bring your hands together and feel the accumulative effect of practicing for our energy. Not for competition, not for achieving certain postures, but to feel the energy inside of us, the prana inside of us, the movement, the mobility, the current inside. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.